It's a wonderful sunny day. I've been having a wonderful time out here with my family. Wonderful sunshiny day. I love those sunshiny days. Man, we don't get them too much, but hopefully we get a lot more of them. We're gonna do a follow up on this Jones Plantation in Jonestown. We're gonna talk about that. First, let me start with greeting everybody. This is Staying in the Light. I started to get a podcast. Then I ran into some difficulties after I got all my equipment. And I said, well, until I figured out how to set it up, I just make this a radio. Then we get everything set up. We'll call it a podcast, okay? Because my energy flows better when I'm doing this talking, not like I'm on TV, being under scrutiny. Got to answer all these questions about what I'm wearing or what I'm looking like. I don't need all that. So my energy flows freely when I'm just able to speak through you. So you do what works for you. This works for me. Now, if you watch a couple of videos ago, which you may call also audios, I talked about Jones Plantation because there's a movie someone recommended that I see. I watched it. I don't like the the theme of slavery. That's why I had stopped watching movies like that because we may have been we were political prisoners. We were enslaved. We were not slaves. Slave come from Slavic, which means a reference to Europeans, Slavics. They're the name that slave come from, and they are the real slaves. Now, with that being said, I recall a few years earlier I had watched a movie called The Free State of Jones. So with the Jones Plantation, it brought that to mind. I said, well, let me go back and watch The Free State of Jones. I had watched this movie a few years ago. I went back and watched The Free State of Jones. Man, it's like I never seen it before. Sure, there was some scenes I remember, but the understanding of that movie accelerated so much. And that's for anything. That's why I purchase books and DVDs and go back and watch them because nothing is standing still. And their knowledge has layers to them. So whenever you watch something or read something and you go back a year or two later, you're going to uncover another layer. You're going to see things different that you didn't see before. That's because you have grown since then. You're always growing. You should be. If you don't, put it like this, if you watch a movie 2 years later or read a book 2 years later and you don't see anything different or don't learn something different, you're not doing your homework. You're not studying because your knowledge base should have increased in those 2 years. So when you go back and read something or watch something, you see more than you saw before. Man, I went back and watched The Free State of Jones, and man, that's what I want y'all to watch. Get off the plantation and talk about what it takes to build a nation. That's what Orange Free State's about. What you got to go through to being a nation. And that's what I'm speaking about. We have communities, and communities is what? Community comes to cities, and cities become states, and states become a state is a nation. If you didn't know that, so being a nationalist, we should learn about nation building. Free State of Zone is a blueprint. Just to name a few points. You need everything a nation has. You got to be ready to give your life to be free. That's the main thing that I got out of that movie. If you wasn't ready to die for freedom, then you're not free. You're really living for it. Some people say die, but no, you're giving your life means you're living for something. You're not dying for anything. And you're living because it's something you want to pass down your children. That's why I got so at awesome the last video when I was talking about these 5 places they want black people to live. They're trying to get us out to America to try to say we don't belong here. This is a more our country than anybody else's. And we have a legacy to give to our children here on this land. So forget it, people. We ain't going nowhere. Well, some of us will because we don't know who we are. But chances are they're going to come back once they see, hey, I don't belong here. These people don't really accept me, and I don't fit into their thinking. So I'm not telling y'all got to go back to Europe. Do we tell you? Did we tell y'all have to go back to Europe if you want to live in all white neighborhoods? We don't tell you that. We say, hey, you're here, you're American, you're like one of us. So why would you insult us and tell us we will be happy if we go to these 5 countries where black people are welcome? What are you really saying? You're saying we're not welcome here. I dare you. Anyway, I digress. See, I'm going to keep talking about it until I get it out of my system. So, the Free State of Jones talks about the war and how these people came together and they worked together, they fought together, they had each other's back. Okay, that's all I got for y'all right now. So we'll talk to you later, uh, some other time.